What's going on, YouTube? I'm back, and today I just wanted to talk to you guys about the new Zenyatta changes that are being implemented into Overwatch in the new patch. Now, I made a video a week or two ago about Zenyatta and his current state, and I actually was foreseeing a nerf coming to him very soon. Now, I'm not happy about this nerf. As you may have known if you watched that video I made a week or two ago about it, I felt like Overwatch was really close to being in a really good state. I always feel like the game is good when you have the healers like Ana and Zenyatta being played at a high level frequently. I feel like the more skill there is in the game, the better it is. Now, I did feel like Discord Orb was very powerful, and in my own opinion, and I feel like this is just a matter of values. When people talk about something being overpowered like a Discord Orb, or, you know, like a Genji Dragonblade, a Doomfist one-shot mechanic, a Widow headshot, you know, you can go and look at the stats and look at pick rates, win rates, and you can see when something is tangibly overpowered. It's being picked a lot, it's winning a lot, winning at a rate that is much higher than anything else. Now, I don't know what Zenyatta's win rate was. I'm not sure what it is. I didn't look at it, but I do know, like, to go back to my point about values, I want Zenyatta to be overpowered. I want Discord Orb to be overpowered. It really comes down into what game you want to play. Do you want to play a game where Immortality Field is dictating the pace of the match? Do you want to play a game where Briggs AoE healing is dictating the match? Do you want to play a game where Widow headshots are dictating your match? I personally don't. I would much rather play a game where Zenyatta's Discord Orb is dictating the match, or an Ana sleep, an Ana anti-healing nade, you know, whatever it may be, a soldier on high ground, you know, a McCree, a duel of McCrees, you know, DPS difference, a duel of tracers, a duel of Zaryas, who can get their ult faster, who can get better hooks on Roadhog, what team can coordinate a dive the best with a D.Va and Winston tandem. You know, these are the type of things that I would like to be overpowered. The things that some other people might want to be overpowered, for example, is Hammond. And if you don't know about the specifics of Zenyatta's nerf, basically what they've done is they've reduced the projectile speed of his Harmony Orb, which is the one that heals you, and the projectile speed of the Orb of Discord, which is the one that amplifies damage, from 30% down to 25%. So basically, when you have the little purple orb above your head and you're being shot at, you take 25% more damage than you normally would. This is especially overpowered against a tank. When you put it on a tank like a Winston or a Reinhardt and you just keep it on him, you never remove it from him, you just keep it on him. You essentially take that tank out of the game. If the other team has to put resources into him to heal him, they're getting such big losses on where they're allocating those resources as a team, right? Because he's taking 25% more damage, and you're not going to heal 25% more. So you're losing a ton when you invest anything into that tank as a healer. That is going to remain the same with Zenyatta, which is one of the reasons why I find this nerf frustrating. Because if I put the Orb of Discord on a tank, the reduction in its projectile speed is not going to be a factor, right? If there's a Reinhardt or a Winston, you know, any tank you can pick, right? I just put it on him and he's basically taken out of the game. When you conceptualize what I'm saying, I want you to think about this over the period of a whole match, right? Don't think about it in one team fight, although you can if you would like. Think about it over the course of the whole match. That aspect of Zenyatta's kit is still going to be there. They did not really nerf it that much, in my own opinion. What they did nerf in regards to the projectile speed of the Discord Orb is Zenyatta's ability to quickly spin, react, look at a Doomfist that is diving on him, or look at a Hammond that is diving on him, and get that Discord on the target, a Tracer, a Genji, immediately, you know, an Echo, and just burst them down really fast. He's not going to be able to do that as effectively now, which basically is just going to make him weaker to dive. It really seems like at times that Blizzard just doesn't want skilled heroes to be able to outduel a Hammond, for example. From now on, Zenyatta isn't going to be able to immediately Discord a Hammond. If a Hammond swings in around the corner really fast or comes from some random rollout that he's memorized and just slams the Zenyatta, the Hammond isn't going to get punished as hard as he should be, in my opinion. Remember, this is just about values. What I'm saying is not fact. This is just what I think it should be. A Hammond should get punished immediately when he goes on a Zenyatta, because Zenyatta has no mobility and you have to have aim. And, you know, his only defense essentially is his offense. They've basically reduced the speed of his offense reaching its peak. I don't understand the purpose of this. All they're doing is, not only are they making Zenyatta worse, but, this is what IDDQD said, and I agree with it. This is just an indirect buff to Hammond, you know, to Doomfist. These heroes that engage really fast. I don't really hate Doomfist as much as I hate Hammond, but if you hate Hammond, and I know a lot of people do, and I hate him so much, nothing against Hammond players or anything. I just think that hero shouldn't be in the game at its current state. Hammond is basically receiving a buff from this because now he's going to be able to just feast on Zenyatas. You might even see Zenyatta just completely fall out of the game now. It's really unfortunate that when a Doomfist is going to fly in and uppercut Zenyatta, there's going to be an extra delay in the amount of time it takes for Zenyatta to put the Discord on that target. It makes no sense to me. And I've always felt like a conspiracy theorist when I said that Blizzard doesn't like skill, and they hate skill, and they don't like skill gaps, and they want stupid heroes and stupid players to be able to contend with and trade blows with really good, talented players. I always felt like I was a crazy person that was just making things up. But when I see things like this, it sort of just confirms what I believe about Blizzard. They really just have it out against skill. Think about how long Zenyatta's been like a really good pick now. I don't know the exact amount of time that it's been, but he really has not been tier 1 for that long relative to a hero like Hammond that has been good for so long. If you guys follow all the streamers, top 500 players, all of the tank players, they play Sigma, overpowered, and Hammond, overpowered, and these heroes have just remained in that state for so long. Zenyatta, a skill hero, all of a sudden becomes good, and how fast is his reign over at that tier 1 spot as an off support? It's really frustrating as a player that values skill. If you feel like Hammond really bullying and punishing a hero like Zenyatta, a hero that almost is all about a third-person perspective on the game and really goes against the, traditional FPS dynamic that we all love about Overwatch, that is Hammond. He is not really an FPS type of a hero, but he happens to be placed in an FPS game. There's so many different reasons why Hammond is a hero that, at a lot of different ranks, does not really take as much skill. First off, if you look at Hammond and his room for error without getting punished, it's got to be the highest hero of all time. Even a hero like Blizzard, not Blizzard, like Brigitte, is just, she was stupid. She had a shield over her face, so she was hard to get a pick on, but she could still really overextend. And then her only way out was to use her shield bash and then sort of try and close the gap on you. You could still really get punished on that hero. Hammond, however, is able to just make mistake after mistake and just face tank so much damage. And I understand he's supposed to be able to do that by design. I just don't agree with it myself. And I don't agree with a hero like Zenyatta being constantly bullied by a hero like that. A hero like Tracer bullying Zenyatta, Tracer is a high skill ceiling hero, and there's a skill gap there. There is a duel between Zenyatta and Tracer. If he gets the Discord on her and he hits headshots, Zenyatta will win the duel against the Tracer every single time. If you look at just TTK's time to kill, Discord, headshot on the Tracer, think about how fast that Tracer's going down. I know Tracer can one-clip Zenyatta. And speaking of which, they nerfed Tracer as well, so Tracer's not going to be as good. I swear, this company just does not like skill. And I do like skill, so that's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to keep repeating myself. But it's this nerf to Zen is not about Zen as much as it is an indirect buff to Hammond, to Wrecking Ball. That hero is just going to be even more unpunishable now. And think about the trade-off that you're going to get. If Zenyatta falls out of the meta, What's going to take his place? It's going to be a BAP. It's going to be a Lucio. I don't like playing against those heroes. I like playing against Zen because it's almost enticing as a DPS player or even an off-tank player, knowing that you can get a pick on the Zen, whenever. And if you're the Zen, it's fun to play because if you're good at Zen, you can get picks. If your DPS sucks, you can make up for it with your own accuracy. If your tanks suck, you can discord the enemy tanks. I feel like Zenyatta gives the player so much more influence on whether they win or lose, and that is fundamentally what a skill gap is. Zenyatta is almost the perfect definition of a skill gap. The more aggressive he is, and then if he's efficient on top of that aggression, his value goes through the roof. But if you aren't skillful, his value declines. That is the type of game that I want Overwatch to be. So I disavow this Zenyatta nerf, and I really wish Blizzard didn't do it. And that's really all I have to say about it. I wish it didn't happen.